Today, I'm breaking down 6 major red flags that reveal deep incompatibility or unhealthy relationship patterns. These aren't just small quirks or surface-level differences. These are core issues that almost always predict relationship failure and long-term misery. Red flag 1. Consistent lack of accountability. The first major warning sign is when someone constantly refuses to take responsibility for their actions, mistakes, or part in conflicts. Everything is always someone else's fault, circumstances beyond their control, or situations where they paint themselves as the victim. Here's what that looks like in real life. In every story they tell about their past relationships or conflicts, they're always the innocent one who was mistreated. Their ex was crazy, their boss was unfair, their friends betrayed them, their family didn't understand them. There's always an external villain, never any recognition of their own role in the problem. Psychologically, this comes from what's called an external locus of control, the belief that outside forces control your life more than your own choices. People who think this way never build self-awareness because they truly don't see how their own behavior shapes outcomes. Why is this so toxic? Because eventually you become the villain in their story. When conflict arises, they won't take ownership of their part. Every disagreement becomes about what you did wrong, not what they could do better. You'll end up wasting all your energy defending yourself instead of actually solving problems together. Watch for these patterns. During disagreements, they instantly deflect, blame, or make excuses. When you express how their behavior affects you, they flip it and make you the issue. They always have an explanation for why every bad situation wasn't their fault. They never give real apologies, only fake ones like, "I'm sorry you felt that way," which shift blame onto you for having emotions. 1 or 2 bad relationships could be bad luck, but if their entire history is filled with people who are wrong to them and they never take responsibility, the common denominator isn't everyone else, it's them. Healthy people acknowledge their role in past failures, reflect on what they learned, and show growth. Red flag 2. Chronic disrespect in communication. The next red flag is ongoing disrespect in how they talk to you or others. Though this can show up as mockery, contempt, dismissiveness, or treating people as beneath them. Here's what that looks like. They dismiss your ideas, feelings, or opinions as stupid or unimportant. They make jokes at your expense disguised as playful teasing. They interrupt constantly, talking over you like your words don't matter. They roll their eyes, use sarcasm, or a patronizing tone whenever you speak. But it's not only about how they treat you. Pay attention to how they treat service staff, waiters, or anyone with lower status. Someone rude to servers, dismissive of retail workers, or arrogant toward people they don't need to impress is revealing who they really are. How a person treats those who can't benefit them says everything about their character. The psychology behind this often comes from insecurity masked as superiority. Some people elevate themselves by putting others down. Others simply grew up around toxic communication and never learned any different. Why is this relationship poison? Because respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Without it, love becomes empty. You can't build closeness with someone who treats you with contempt. And disrespect never stays small. It escalates. What begins as sarcasm or dismissive comments eventually turns into constant belittlement that eats away at your confidence. Red flag 3. Emotional volatility without self-management. The third red flag is emotional instability. Extreme mood swings without any effort to manage them. This isn't about normal emotions or bad days. It's about constant chaos driven by unpredictable emotional reactions. Here's what it looks like. Their mood changes drastically over small things. One moment they're happy, the next they're furious or devastated. You find yourself walking on eggshells, always trying not to trigger them. Their reactions are wildly out of proportion. Minor inconveniences become full-blown breakdowns. This often comes from unresolved trauma, personality disorders, poor emotional regulation learned in childhood, or untreated mental health issues. But the cause matters less than whether they're actively working to manage it. Why is it draining? Because you end up responsible for keeping them emotionally stable. The entire relationship revolves around their mood swings. You stop focusing on building something healthy and spend your time managing their emotional storms. Watch for these signs. Frequent emotional crises, over-the-top reactions to small problems, emotional intensity that never lets up, rapid shifts between idealizing and devaluing you, or total shutdowns with no middle ground. The key difference lies in self-awareness. Someone who says, "I know I struggle with emotional regulation and I'm working on it," is completely different from someone who says, "This is just how I am. Deal with it." Red flag 4. Financial irresponsibility and entitlement. The fourth major red flag is chronic financial recklessness paired with entitlement, expecting others to bail them out or fund their lifestyle. Here's how it looks. They constantly spend beyond their means, have no budget, and are drowning in debt they never address. Financial emergencies always become your responsibility. They expect fancy dates or gifts but contribute little or nothing themselves. Psychologically, this often comes from poor impulse control, lack of financial education, or an entitled mindset, believing others should support their lifestyle while they spend freely. Why is this destructive? Because financial strain is one of the biggest causes of relationship breakdowns. It also signals deeper issues, irresponsibility, short-term thinking, and lack of accountability. Eventually, you carry the burden of their poor choices. Watch for these. They live above their means, are always broke despite good income, expect you to pay for things, or make reckless purchases. Notice their attitude toward money. Do they take ownership or blame circumstances? Do they view partners as providers? Someone who outforgets their wallet or always finds a reason not to contribute financially is showing you exactly what to expect long-term. Red flag 5. Inability to maintain healthy boundaries. The fifth warning sign is a consistent inability or unwillingness to respect boundaries. Either they have none or constantly cross yours. Here's what it looks like. They overshare deeply personal details too early. Too early. They demand immediate access to your time and life. They get upset when you set limits around privacy or space. They involve you in personal drama before you've even built a foundation. But this often comes from poor role modeling in childhood, fear of abandonment, or blurred identity, not knowing where they end and others begin. Why is this dangerous? Because boundaries are the structure of every healthy relationship. Without them, things become suffocating, not intimate. Someone who doesn't respect them will slowly consume your time, peace, and independence. Watch for these: constant calls and texts early on, pressure for fast emotional or relationship escalation, anger when you assert space, or guilt-tripping you for having limits. Also notice whether they have boundaries. Healthy people can say no and protect their time while still staying connected. Unhealthy people either have none or build rigid walls that block closeness. Pay attention to their reaction when you say no. A healthy person respects it. An unhealthy one argues, manipulates, or punishes you for asserting yourself. Red flag 6. Persistent dishonesty or secrecy. The final red flag is habitual lying or excessive secrecy. Here's what this looks like. They lie about small, unnecessary things. Their stories don't line up. They're vague about who they're with or what they're doing. They keep entire parts of their life hidden without reason. Their actions consistently contradict their words. The psychology behind chronic dishonesty varies. Some lie because they fear punishment, others because they're hiding something, and some because they're addicted to the image they project. Why is this relationship poison? Because trust underpins everything. Without it, nothing else holds. Once it's broken repeatedly, rebuilding it is almost impossible. You'll live anxious, always questioning, never secure. Watch for inconsistencies, changing stories, secrecy about phones or social media, defensiveness when asked direct questions, or finding out major things they conceal. Remember, privacy isn't the same as secrecy. Someone with normal privacy but overall transparency is healthy. Someone who's evasive or lies often is not. When you catch dishonesty, address it directly. I noticed what you said earlier doesn't match what you told me before. Honesty is non-negotiable for me. Their reaction will tell you everything. If they admit it and work on it, maybe it's fixable. But if they deny, deflect, or you catch more lies, leave. Persistent dishonesty only grows worse with time. If this video helped you recognize red flags you've overlooked or validated your concerns, hit subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Drop a comment with your own experiences. Your story might help someone else. Remember, being alone is better than being with someone who drains your peace. High standards aren't about judgment, they're about self-respect and protecting your mental space for real, healthy connection. Choose wisely. Your future self will thank you. So let's recap everything. Let's recap everything. These 6 red flags aren't minor habits or harmless differences. They're fundamental warning signs that reveal whether someone is emotionally mature enough for a healthy relationship. You can't build something strong with someone who refuses accountability, communicates with disrespect, or lacks emotional control. You can't build stability with someone who's reckless with money, can't hold boundaries, or lies as easily as they breathe. And here's the truth most people don't want to accept. Ignoring these signs doesn't make them disappear. You can rationalize, make excuses, or hope things will change, but patterns like these only get worse with time. People don't magically become accountable, respectful, or honest without first deciding to grow. When you ignore red flags, you trade long-term peace for short-term comfort. You stay because you don't want to start over. You hope love will fix them. But love doesn't fix dysfunction, awareness and self-work do. So, the next time you start getting close to someone, pay more attention to what they do than what they say. Watch their patterns, their reactions, their level of self-awareness. Do they take responsibility or always shift blame? Do they speak with respect or with contempt? Do they manage their emotions or make everyone else manage them? Do they live within their means or expect to be rescued? Do they respect your boundaries or push past them? Do they tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, or hide behind lies? Because these patterns are not random, they are data. They reveal the level of emotional maturity you're dealing with. And if you ignore that data, you're signing up for chaos, resentment, and pain down the road. If this message hit you hard, if you found yourself realizing, yeah, I've seen that before, take it as a sign to start setting higher standards. It's not about being harsh or judgmental. It's about protecting your peace, your energy, and your future. Because being single is not a punishment. It's a position of power. It gives you space to grow, to become more self-aware, and to attract someone who matches your standards, not drains them. So choose wisely, pay attention early, listen to what people show you, and remember, peace is the most valuable thing you can protect. If this video brought you value or helped you see something clearly, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who needs this message. Drop a comment about your own experiences because your story might help someone else wake up to theirs. At the end of the day, having high standards isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. Because you don't build a peaceful life by tolerating red flags, you build it by walking away from them.